Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Help Within 2018 Tarot. Please like, subscribe and share. So today it's a bit different. Back to the knowledge side, not tarot. Today we have nothing to do with tarot. Today I want to talk about the first house, Aries. Aries relationship with, as in the modern astrology and in the ancient astrology. The myths behind it, the attributes, and all that. I cannot record all the information. I wish I can share a lot, but I don't know why. I still have my shortcomings with recordings. As I said earlier, someone is trying to decode me, so even uploading is kind of a problem, but I'm trying now. At least I have a longer period to record. I can upload. I'm still working on it. I don't know when it's going to end, this problem. But anyway, let's talk about Aries. The relationship between Aries and the ancient history of the ancient knowledge, I should say. The ancient knowledge between the astrology they used to have and the attributes and the modern one. Okay, so we all know that Aries is the first house in astrology, the zodiac wheel, I should say, and symbolized by Ram, the symbol of the Ram. The first house is the home of the ascendant and symbolizes the acting self and your personality. The ruler of the first house is planet Mars, also known as the Roman god of war. So here already we have very vital information. Mars, Roman god of war. I will later link this information and you will see how it was broken down in the ancient history compared to the Western astrology. So it possesses characteristics of assertiveness and aggressive characters, and it's the patron deity of soldiers, police officers, surgeons, rail workers, welders, bodybuilders, any work field of iron and steel. So, here are the significance. This is the Western astrology. Okay. All these attributes I will then link in the later in the video, and you will see how also in the ancient, how our ancient forefathers and the ancient knowledge linked and gave birth to the modern astrology. So, it's all science, I should say, but everybody interpreted it differently. So it's like we say there are many ways of killing a rat. So there were many ways of passing this knowledge. Everybody had their own, every community, every tribe had their own way of doing it. Okay? The ruler of Aries being Mars, which is a masculine energy, empowers the male chromosome Y in our bodies. Which gives Aries a natural drive to be persuasive and empowered by the ego from Mars to be leaders, and inspires Aries to pursue their goals to its best capacity, thus fueling a desire for personal independence, intense passion for conflict, opposition, and challenges. These are pure attributes of Aries. Their abilities are earned through courageous acts of leadership and skills, even in times of great danger, through asserting yourself by winning and express your ego, anger through confrontation, headstrong, or inconsiderate behavior when others won't let you or get you anywhere ahead of you. This is typical Aries. You cannot boss an Aries. Aries people are very, very courageous, and that is why they are always related to be the natural born leaders. As in the first house, most people say that. And people with life path number 1, who are natural born leaders, they always carry these attributes of Aries because they are very assertive. You can't break them easily. And if you do, they will always come back stronger. So Aries people never do well when being bossed or given precocious suggestions when they set their eyes in achieving a goal. They take a precaution as a hurdle, because you cannot tame an Aries when they set their eyes on the prize. Example of Aries warriors we have and inventors are like Adolf Hitler, Leonardo da Vinci, Septimius Severus, the Roman emperor who was born in Libya. These are very good example of the warriors and inventors who carry the Aries attributes. They never knew no. They never took no as an answer. They were always pushing everything, to the core. So let's talk about the days ruled by Mars. Mars being the ruler of Aries. Okay. Now we talk about Mars, because we know Mars is a fiery planet, and that's why Aries is being considered as a fire sign in the zodiac category. So now we are talking about the rulers. Who is behind Aries? Who is influencing Aries? Well, it's the planet Mars, which is a fiery planet. And Mars, now I'm breaking it down to which day exactly Mars is activated during the week. So the day ruled by Mars is Tuesday, whereby the energy or action and getting things done, getting projects off the ground, is the day of profit. There is something I want to share with you. In the ancient times, women believed that when a man sleeps with you, and especially if you want to bear a child, these are just myths, because it's only God who knows the secret of when a woman can conceive a boy or a girl and all that. But in the ancient times, the people believed that if you make love on Tuesday, when you're trying to conceive, like when you want to conceive, and you want to have a baby boy, then it's ideal to make love with your man on Tuesday, because it's a masculine day, and so there's a lot of masculine energy whereby a woman can conceive a masculine child. That was in the ancient time. Okay, if you look at it in the modern times, it's because first, Tuesday being the day ruled by Mars, it carries a masculine energy. It's a go, go, go day. Secondly, the Y chromosome is active on this day, scientifically. I don't know. I'm just giving this information as per my research, what I learned. Okay, so, and even on Tuesday, we can see like mostly it said like Aries men are more sexually active on Tuesday. They get a hard erection on Tuesday. Why? Okay, let me show you something. The Y chromosome. Let me just write the letter Y. I'm looking for an empty letter. Okay, like this is the letter Y. Yeah. So they're saying, okay, the Y chromosome. Turn it this way. This is the genital of a man. We see it's up. So it is erected. This is just logically speaking. So the men are more, they get a lot of, I can say they have a hard erection on Tuesday because of the masculine energy carried by Mars on this day. And in the myth before, the people believed that on Tuesday, when a woman conceives, on this day, when they make love to their men, they can highly get a baby boy. That was the myth before. But in reality, it's just because when we look in modern science, it's the energy which is being carried on this day, on Tuesday. Another dangerous thing which can happen also, because we all know fire is a good servant, but can be a bad master. So since Tuesday is a very good day to go get your things done, and it's a very beautiful day ruled by Mars because there's a lot of energy. This was a day also which was manipulated by most witches who will do witchcraft to harm other people on Tuesday, because they were using the Mars energy, which when you hit somebody with fire, definitely that person will burn. So this is what they were using on the dark side of this day. In the ancient times, the people used Tuesday to harm others. It's because they knew that this day was carrying a very strong masculine energy. So it's like when you beat somebody, when you're very strong, of course that person will get hurt. So these were the myths before. But when you look in the modern time, the reason behind it is because of the energy which was being carried in these days. So what is the association between the all about these myths and all about the old ancient knowledge which was shared between I can say in Latin America, in Africa, in most parts of the continent, and related to the modern astrology now in regards to Aries? Well, for example, I'm going to use I'm going to read about the orishas for those people who know the ancient history of the Africa, Latin America. Portugal also used this knowledge, and it's about the relationship of Aries being related to, since it's ruled with Mars, it's related to an Orisha called Ogun. This Orisha is the ruler of civilization, creativity, war, invention. At times, there is still contradicting. They're saying that it also assisted in royalty. Why? Because it will fight to bestow and put a king on the throne, or to overthrow a king because of its attributes of war. So Ogun was one of the most strongest orishas who was believed to carry this, and he will also work mostly with metals. When they talk about creativity and civilizations, they're saying all these like hardwares we use, things which are created by metals, for example what we use now, computers and railways, aeroplanes, all these are metal things which were molded to do a specific action. They are all related to Ogun, who is being ruled, who is also attributed to be Mars. Okay, because of its fiery action, it brings that creativity. In the other part, it's also said he rules justice and deals with contracts, everything, anything which is bringing modernization, bringing things together, because it's more bossy, I should say. And the other, for example, in Cuba, they relate Ogun to Saint Peter. In Brazil, they relate him to Saint George. In the Yorubas, they know him as Orisha Ogun. The other attributes of Ogun, as per ancient knowledge, is that, I said it, he was in charge of bestowing and overthrowing kingdoms. Being associated with Mars, the red-hot planet, it is believed that Ogun is the compressor of hot gases underground, which produces gemstones like diamonds and different kinds of minerals like all these other precious stones. And here, there is something here I want to say. Since we know Mars has very hot and is compressed with very hot gases, and you see in the ancient knowledge that we're stating that Ogun could compress gases underground which will produce precious metals. and the ruler of civilizations. That's why we see all this. For example, we need the cobalt from the ground. Cobalt is one of the mineral which is highly used to create cell phones, which is a metal being used also to create mobile phones. I'm sorry, I'm speaking many languages, so I always get confused. I want to say it in a different language. Okay, cobalt is used to create communication gadgets like computers, handy mobile phones, and all that. So we see it's coming from underground, and that is why they related it to Ogun, who also is in charge of the underground compression of gases which produce these minerals, and whereby Ogun was related to Mars, which also creates civilizations. So we see the interconnection of all these relationship and synchronicities. Just as Mars traits, it is a neutral response to how one commands it. Just like the saying goes, fire is a good servant but a bad master. So it's Mars. If you use it in a good way, for example, you want to achieve a goal, you'll be very assertive to achieve that goal. But when you use it in a wrong way, it can cause very big disasters. Just like the way I gave a very good example of fire. A good servant, it can cook for you, but it can be a bad master. It can burn down your whole kitchen if not contained. So to some of these traits, interrelation of the modern and traditional knowledge, we can also see how Aries attributes are similar from ancient to modern astrology, how they synchronize. And now talking about the mantra, Aries has a mantra of I am, because the first house, leadership, I am. So every time we see, when you want to do something, when you focus on something, you don't, or you set your eyes on a goal, you don't listen to other people's decision. It's you and your drive. That is why we have this mantra of I am being in the first house, because of that leadership attributes. Okay, I'm going to just talk a little bit about Aries compatibility in love. In love relationship, Aries man, let's say, an Aries man is a do-it type of a man. He wants to be active and achieve goals in his life. In relationship, he needs his ego to be fed by getting the urge that he feels needed, and not vice versa. So who can feed the ego of Aries? Okay, we know Pisces. Pisces becomes an ideal match here because they can shower Aries with very good attributes, which feeds his ego. But Aries is always highly attracted to a Gemini because they are very sweet talkers and they can adapt to the situations. Feeds his ego by all he needs to hear, because Aries always wants to, as I said, they are more life like Leo. They want their egos to be fed because they always want to be the leaders. You can't tame an Aries. And another one is a Leo. It's also a fire sign, who share most traits and compatibility of leadership. That's why Leo is a center of attention, and naturally they are also leaders. Yeah, they are the sun. They're the central of the solar system, ruled by the sun. So Aries needs that energy also from that Leo, and he can go, So Leo can be a very good partner to an Aries. They're both fire. Another partner can be Sagittarius. They are also a very good partner because Sagittarius is a free soul, free spirit, and they like to explore new territories, which makes it ideal for them to be compatible to Aries, because Aries doesn't like to be tamed, Sagittarius doesn't like to be tamed as well, but they both have the same attributes. They're both fiery. But if for example an Aries man is dating a Sagittarius, they will be very fiery. But if one does not tame their fieriness, they can end up burning one another, because this one is a go-getter and the other one is a leader. So it's like, if that fire is not mixed up properly, it can end up burning everything. So that is the weakness between Sagittarius and Aries. Otherwise, they make very good compatibility. I just picked these few signs, but you can check out how Aries is compatible to other signs as well. Attribute of Aries, they're also jealous. They are jealous when in a relationship. So you have to know, if you're dating an Aries, he don't want to be the second best. He's the first house. He's the leader. So you cannot make an Aries feel like threatened in their territory, like to be the second best. They don't like that. So with that, it's very little knowledge, but I hope somebody will benefit from it. So hopefully you like that, and I hope in the next videos we can do more comparing Western knowledge and the old Western knowledge, which is consisting of the zodiac sign, the rule of the planet, and the ancient orishas, which when you combine together we come with a knowledge which is synchronizing to see how the old and the Western astrology is mixing up, and gives us very nice education. So with that, if you want more information, you can contact me at helpwithin2018tarot at gmail.com. With that, until then, bye bye.